I want to put this on the floor, but I feel like I'm too, let me see. Hello and welcome to day 174, I believe, of 365. My name is Jessica Lozano, my women's relationship and feminine embodiment mentor. I'm in Ron's office today as we are getting ready to have my in-laws over and my parents over just for a nice family barbecue, and Ron has the music going. He's all into getting the yard set up. The yard is his thing, getting his barbecue set up, that's his jam. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna let him enjoy the music and all of that. I'm just gonna come into his office because in here, I don't think you can hear. It's because I don't want Facebook to catch the music of it, because you know how they censor everything. So today I have a subject to talk about that my girlfriend sent a Facebook video to me, and she's like, I'm really curious what you think. I really want to hear what you think about this, and this would be a great Facebook Live. So I saw the video, I was like, oh yeah, this is really good. And she's like, because for her, sex is really important, and for men, sex is also very important, right? There's some women who really I'll tell you what the video is in a second, but basically, well, let me just say what the video is. So the video is this woman, and she said something along the lines of how long do you wait until you have a conversation with your husband? She said, bring it to the table, which I didn't like that. I didn't like her whole energy, but the concept and the message, I'm definitely gonna break down. When do you bring it to the table to have a conversation with your man when sex is being when there hasn't been sex? And she said in the video, she's like, for me it's a week. She's like, that means that I've gotten rejected 3 times, which I have so much to say about this too, which I'm gonna make a Facebook Live about it tomorrow. That means I've been rejected 3 times, and I need to know what's going on in a week. I need to know what's happening. Do you need time? Do you need space? Do you need to see a doctor? I want to have a conversation about this. So, I feel like the essence of the video was good in terms of, yes, you do not want to calcify sex in a relationship, meaning you do not want to not have sex in your union, because sex is a creational energy and it is a generative energy. It is life-giving. It is life force that is being given back and forth between you and your partner. And it is really important to keep that alive. And this is coming from a woman who is had no desire for sex for a really long time because I was suppressed on it because of my previous relationship and my overdoing and overgiving of it, that I just swung too much on the other side. And what I can see happen is women who have this sort of experience can kind of get a little, if they don't take care of it and they don't take ownership of it, they can get a little self-righteous in that, and they can get a little maybe out of, and I want to say not maybe self-righteous wasn't the right word, but out of their own pain that they have that has happened in their life. They don't want to necessarily give this because they haven't taken responsibility to do their own inner work with that. And that's so important that we take responsibility of our stuff and that we don't calcify, especially when it comes to sex, especially for us, for women who have had a lot of trauma around sex, or maybe there's a lull in your relationship. It's important for us to take responsibility. So the essence of that video that my girlfriend sent me, that she was like, oh yeah, this would be a great topic to talk about. I would love to know what you think about it. You definitely don't want to calcify your sex in union at all. Both parties need to make sure they're always taking active responsibility on their relationship with sex, and in whatever way that looks like, right? For the women, healing any sexual suppression, awakening their sexuality, healing past traumas and assaults that have happened to our bodies, to our wombs, to our pussies. It's so important for us to do that And it's really also important for men to take whatever responsibility that they have that has to do with their own sexual energy as well. Like, I believe that there's always an answer to anything. So, like if a man isn't feeling into the woman, if he's not feeling, you know, if there's certain erectile dysfunction going on, like those conversations do need to be had, and he does need to take personal responsibility as to what's going on in his body, mind, soul, and emotions that is causing him this. Same thing with the women who don't feel aroused, who don't feel like they have libido, and neither one of these sides should be like, well, whatever, it's just the way I am, and deny the other partner's sex. Now, you need to have the conversation like, okay, this is what's happening within me right now. I'm not feeling aroused. I'm for women, aroused, engorged, erotic, like hot, steamy, wet. I'm not feeling those things. And for the men, I'm not feeling horny. I'm not feeling, you know, like horny. Women turned on. Let's just use it these ways, because women using, and I loved when someone shared this with me, she's like, women should not be using the word horny, because horny has always been about men's erectification for sex. So we don't get horny, we get turned on, we get wet. Men get horny. So if either one of these partners are not experiencing these two things, they need to really take personal responsibility. They have to take personal responsibility about that. Now, especially because the reason is going to be that our significant other is going to be like, what's happening? What's going on? You know, why aren't we having sex? Now, and it's going to put a damper in the relationship. Women, we're not going to feel wanted. We're not going to feel adored. And men, they're not going to feel either maybe respected, or they're not going to feel like we're being given back to from how they have been given, right? So it's like a generative energy, right? Sex is for both people. Like for women, there was a fun fact, which I know a lot of people know about this now, but if you don't know, the reason why vibrators were invented was because women were getting like stuck up in the head, going crazy, going mental, and all of these things. So doctors created vibrators so that they could start having orgasms and drop back down into their body. This is why, and I'm emphasizing this aspect for the women who feel like, you know, maybe they are withholding for a reason because their man hasn't done this and hasn't done that, as a form of a punishment, or as a form of not going into these places. Like, not having orgasm as a woman is also not healthy, right? We need to have orgasm. I'm talking about for the women who have low libidos, who have low arousals, who are not really getting wet, who are not getting really turned on. It's important for us, and I can understand that. Like, I've been in that area. It's important for us to take responsibility of that and drop into our body and own our erotic nature. It's so important in union, especially. So with that said, how long do you wait till you talk to your partner about how there's not have been sex, or there's probably issues in the bedroom, or, you know, whatever conversation? So this woman in this video said a week. Now, she did say because she initiated. So I will have to talk about this in another video, because I need to actually get ready for the barbecue as well. It's like people are going to start coming over in 30 minutes. I don't know if I would say put a specific number on this. I would say in a long-term, after you've been in a long-term committed relationship, I do think it's important that maybe you both have an agreement at how long you wait. And I feel like this is a discussion to have together. And if it's the woman who feels a certain way about something, she can have a conversation with her partner and say, honey, this is how I am feeling about sex. I'm feeling like we're not having sex as often as I would like. I'm feeling like really turned on, and I would like to have more. Like, what's happening? Like, can we have an agreement on a certain thing? And you make an agreement with your partner. You make an agreement with your partner of how long you're going to wait before we are now going to have a conversation. And this is why I didn't necessarily like the delivery of the woman who sent this video. I could feel that she was had very masculine energy, like very forward masculine energy, which is not wrong. There are some women who thrive in the masculine forward energy and who like that in their union. But for me, as a feminine embodiment mentor, as a woman who coaches women to be in their feminine energy in union, like, I didn't like her approach because it sounded a little degrading, at least if that's how she said it to her husband. You know, even at the end, she put a smile on her face, but it felt very masculine. So I would say you need to have a conversation with your partner as to how long to wait, because each relationship is going to be different and specific to how long they need to have sex. Every single union is going to be unique. And this is a conversation to have together and come to an agreement. It's not one person really taking over the whole thing. It's having an agreement. Now, this is also why I love intimacy nights. I love having a set day, a set time that you and your partner, nothing else gets planned during this time, unless, like, of course, there's like something really special, like a special event that can't be arranged. You pick a time in the day, and that is the time that you and your partner have an intimacy night, where it's beyond just having sex, right? For the woman, we really need connection. And we have conversations, you sit, you breathe together, you have whatever things that you like to do, massages, exchanging massages back and forth, just being with each other's energy, maybe doing some tantric practices, or maybe this is when you get all your toys out and have a lot of fun. Like, there's so many ways that you can do this, that you have this set intimacy night for this reason. You have this set intimacy night that no matter what happens, you are both going to the altar of your love together. Ron and I have it Saturday nights at like 7 p.m. usually. We have it on Saturday night, 7 p.m. That is our intimacy night. That is our time that no one else is going to be around. Phones are off, music is on. We set up the scene in whatever way that feels good to us. Whoever's, and it's just us. That way, there is no 1 week is going by, 2 weeks is going by, 3 weeks is going by. It's like, no matter what, you're having that day. And everything, your whole, especially for us women, our heart is completely open for that day, for intimacy, right? Because intimacy isn't just physical, it's also emotional. And for women, we need to have that emotional intimacy in order for us to really open up here. When this opens, this opens. So in terms of how long do you wait, you actually maybe don't even need to. If you have a set night that you guys are always having this intimacy, then you're there. And then there's other conversations that can that can open up about sex. Like, for example, my girlfriend, she told me that her partner has he's taking some kind of medication that affects his performance. So she had to learn to receive energy from him, receive intimacy from him in a different way. And she communicated this with him so that she can feel that type of intimacy, that type of connection. Maybe it's oral sex. Like, you can do oral sex on intimacy night. It doesn't have to be always penetrative, right? It could be touching, it could be fingers, right? There's so many ways that you can get the pleasure that you need. Now, here's the other thing that I will say about this. If your partner is having some dysfunctions with his erection and things like that, you can take, orgasms into your own hand. This is why I believe that every woman should have their own self-pleasure practices, and as well as men too. Like, I don't think that is just women. I think men should also have a self-pleasure practice, because this creates intimacy within each other's own body. Especially for men who are practicing holding semen retention, so that they can keep that practice going. And for women, so that we're always in our arrows and we're always awakening. And there's so much alchemy that can happen within our own bodies with just sex. And that's like another thing. There's so much alchemy that can happen with men and women in sex and union. You can alchemize so much in the bedroom, right? This is why they call it makeup sex, right? Like you can move through things together. Like if you're sad and you're just like, oh, a man can just give you pleasure. You can talk, you can open your heart and he gives you pleasure, and that orgasm just like boom, it like can take you to a different level. It can alchemize all of that. If your partner has gone to war, you know, in the metaphorical term of war, now how men go to war, which is more of like in the boardroom and the work and how they're working hard and all of the things, and the day comes and they're feeling like they can't give a lot, and you can. This is a perfect time that you are giving that sexual energy and you are reviving your partner. So yes, sex should not go too long without talking about it, and set an intimacy night so that this doesn't happen. And you guys have that agreement. Like these are the nights that we're having our intimacy, and then boom, problem solved, without even having to like wait to see like how long are we waiting this time. I just didn't like her approach at all. But intimacy night solves the problem, and you can have more than these a night. We just have once a week, but you can have like 2 or 3 that is set throughout the week. So yeah, that's all I have to say. I'm gonna go get ready for our barbecue, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.